welcome back. This is episode 2 of Who Took My Spikes. This is a podcast with 3 besties.
Yeah, just to say, since we didn't say it in the last episode, Who Took My Spikes is just a fun little title. It really doesn't mean too much. It's just something that a lot of people would say, like, in our team room and stuff before practice. If you can't find your spikes, it's like, who took my spikes? So it's just a little fun little title. But again, I'm Mikele Vickers.
I'm Charisma Taylor.
And I'm Joella Lloyd.
We can talk about mental health in general because that is a very big thing for all of us. And me and Joella studied psychology, so it's, I know, very, at the forefront of our minds. Joella went further than me in psychology. I did psychology undergrad, and then I did communication and information for my master's. Either way, psychology is very important, especially as athletes, because it takes a toll.
Yeah.
It does take a toll.
And like when I did sports psychology for my master's, I wish I knew half of the stuff that I was taught in my graduate school, like when I first started track. Because it's just like a lot of visualization, a lot of reframing your mind and having more of a growth mindset than if something goes wrong, then I'm to blame. I lost my talent, So I wish I had known those things before. But
yeah,
better late than never.
Same. It's crazy how much visualizing can do for you. And the thing personally that hurt my heart was that I took visualization so seriously and like growing my faith, which I still, okay, look, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted, I still take my faith seriously, trust, but like putting it towards track and preparing for meets and like training and everything, I was really taking my mental and myself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, everything so seriously, and then for like injuries and stuff to get in the way of that is something that maybe I would wish it on my worst enemy. That's something I would wish on my worst enemy. Because that was so hard.
Yeah.
Good enough to handle, but like I would never want to go through that again, so I would wish that on my worst.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so I actually have a question. And okay, let me ask the question first.
Okay.
So when did you first become aware of the importance of mental health in your athletic journey? I'll go first.
Okay.
I would definitely say literally this year. Literally. Like, I feel like, okay, I'll explain, because I feel when I was injured in college, yeah, I, was down and I was like sad or whatever, but I don't think that it was like mental health, like I need to get some help, this is like a mental thing. It didn't really affect me as much as it did this year. So like I would get injured in college. I had like a bunch of injuries. Like I redshirted 1 year because of injury. Yeah, I was sad. Yes, I could say like my freshman year, I was depressed, but I still don't think like it was like a mental health, it was but a mental health thing, but like I didn't realize that it was a mental health thing. Like I wasn't mature enough to be like, oh yeah, I need help. Like this is something that is like deeper than what I'm feeling. So I didn't get the help for when I was depressed. I just like kind of went on, let the time go by, and I was fine eventually. But like this year, like I was going through like a lot of financial stuff, and really like worried about all kind of things. But just really worried about a lot of stuff. And then I realized that me worrying about these things that are outside of track played a very important role in track. And very subliminally though, because it was such a, I didn't think that it would affect my performance, but it did, like very minimally. And that kind of grew. So like the stresses that that I was battling with by myself, like at home. Like when I got on the track, yeah, I would have a good practice, but it could like I always felt like it could be like just a little bit better. But I didn't know why. Like why wasn't I training like 100% like I know I can? But that's because of those stresses. And then when like I have a new coach now like when I'm doing meets, like obviously I want to run fast like all the time. But when you have a new coach and a new situation, you have to learn new things. That running fast is not always going to come. So like now that's another added stress, another added mental attack. Like, okay, you ain't running fast in the meets. Okay, you're doing good in practice, but like it's not transferring over to the meets. And then that's when I realized like this is actually all in my head. After I let go of the financials, worries and all that stuff, and like I really fully like dove into track and didn't let anything stress me out, I was good. Practice was good. 100% doing really well, running fast in practice. And then I would get in the meet and I would choke. Literally, nothing that I trained, that I practiced, would be in that meet. I wouldn't perform any way close to what I know I could do or what I've done in practice. So it took me like maybe two bad meets to be like, okay, this isn't a body thing, this isn't a talent thing, this isn't a ability thing, like an out of shape thing. This is definitely a mental thing. And what I did was I actually was like doing some research and trying to find like a mental health coach, for a sports performance coach, to help me like get over this barrier of my mind, because I say this all the time, like the mind is 90% of the sport. If your mind isn't in the right place, you will never run fast, you will never jump far. Like, and I finally recognized that this year, and like I got a mental health coach, a psychologist, and he actually really helped me to get past those barriers, and like it's helped a lot, and I'm learning new techniques. And I talked to Joella about it because I know that's what she studied, and the visualization thing is so big, but I didn't realize it until literally 7 years after college. So a lot of people don't realize how important the mindset is and how important mental health is. And yeah, that's my little spiel. So whoever want to go next.
That was a really great spiel, which you had said 7 or 8 years after college. That's why I was like, you putting some years on you.
Is it 6? No, I was in college 6. So 7,
Yeah.
8. Yeah, this is my 8th year. This is my.
I think I just
after
took
you
it.
started college.
That's why I was thinking like after college, like after you
I see
left,
what
I
you
was
mean.
like, you not up there like that yet.
2 years after college.
But I see what you mean though. That's why I made that face.
2 years after college.
That's
Yeah.
actually crazy though. I didn't realize that you just realized that this year. Like, what did you do before that? Like, what did you do to cope before? If since you didn't like use a therapist or anything, or like really realize it, what were you
Yeah.
doing when you were going through it, but you weren't thinking about it as like a mental health problem?
Honestly, I don't. I grew up like very hard. Like you have to be like tough because I have 3 brothers. Honestly, I would just like thug it out. Like no lie. I would pray too, but like that was a time where like my faith wasn't as strong as it is now. So like I would pray, but like I would be praying, but I would like, bro, I know God ain't. He ain't gonna come. He ain't gonna. So I just gonna wait this out. I'm gonna just be sad and be depressed, and then when I get healthy. So there we go. My like hope was in me thinking about being healthy. So I'm like, okay, when I get healthy, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. You know. So it's like that's what kind of got me through, because I knew that I'll eventually heal, and when I heal, I'll be happy. So that's like what got me through.
Wow, that's real though. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I feel the
that's
same way.
real, because like health being equivalent to happiness. That's a bar.
Put it on a shirt.
Even though
Yeah.
it should be, health is not
Happiness.
equivalent to happiness, because it's not right to think like that all the time, because health, you shouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying.
You don't have to be healthy to be happy.
I got you.
Yeah, exactly. But I
Yeah.
feel the same way though, because that's how I've been for the past like 5 years too.
Hmm.
So that's the bar.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, last thing, and then I'll let Mikele, you go after me
Oh,
after.
okay.
But this is the last thing. I would want to say that, oh, this is so crazy because I find that whenever like I'm in a hard time, like when I was struggling this year, like with the finances and like with like not performing the way I know I need to perform, like when I was struggling, I actually that actually like built my faith more in God because like this time I was yes I was doing the mental health
Mm.
stuff for the guy and but like this time I was actually like having my like little self Bible study literally by me and Tommy. Like we just sitting on the bed doing Bible
Oh.
study, reading the Bible. And I would be like praying and I would be like, God, I just like I honestly think if y'all could just sit be a fly on the wall in my room sometimes, y'all be like, this girl crazy. Because I literally is be talking like out loud to God and like just like me and how me and y'all talking, I just be
Mm.
talking and it just like obviously no one talking back like in the physical, but like I just be talking and like one time I was talking in my bed, just talking to him, and I was had my Bible open, and I was just talking about this thing how I was so like sad and like just all kind of stuff, and then I opened the Bible and it was like literally a scripture like to say like don't be sad, like God will
Mm.
get you, and I was crying, bro, because I was like you actually listening to me like so it's in those little hard struggles or no hard times like that's when I found my relationship with God to like strengthen and like now shoot you can hit me with a rock and I say God got me so like I'm grateful for those moments
Mm.
because like now I'm stronger because of it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. I would agree. That's how it was for me. That's how because I've always been Christian, but like I wasn't really intentional about it until I started
Hmm.
going through it. Because I just don't think like, thankfully, I was fortunate enough to like not go through that many hardships growing up, and I had a feeling that since I hadn't, college was gonna be when I started going through it, and I did. And so then it was like, yeah, mainly the injuries with track and everything and other like outside stuff too. But yeah, I agree that that's when I started getting closer because it was like I mean, I had other people, of course, like I had my family and my friends, but like, when you still feel alone and you're like, but nobody understands. And it was like that.
Hmm.
And then I was like, I ain't got nobody but God for that. And then I went to God and that actually really helped. But anyway, getting back to the mental health part for moi, every year in college, which is crazy because I had never really gotten injured before that. So obviously that took a toll on me. And at first, I feel like I didn't realize until like junior year. Wait, yeah, until junior year, which was like my sophomore year on the track because I got injured, whatever. And I didn't realize till then like that it was a mental health thing because I feel like you said before it'd be like when I'm healthy, I'll be cool. And then also freshman and sophomore year, I just still felt like young, and I was like, I still have time. I have a red shirt, or I have a
Yeah,
COVID year,
that's it.
and yeah, like I knew I had red shirt years, even though one of them got took back now, but whatever. And so I knew I had time, so I wasn't really stressing. Like I was like, okay, I hate that I got injured, but like I have another opportunity. And then junior year, I feel like even though that was my sophomore year on the track, it was like it started getting real. Like okay, now I'm starting to be an upperclassman. Like time is starting to, whatever. And then everybody around me was doing well and stuff. And that's when it started to set in. Like okay, this is a mental health problem because I started really like feeling drained and everything because it just felt like I was doing everything in my power to do well and I just couldn't, but it was because the injuries. And then I just started feeling really bad, like just mentally I felt so just down in the dumps, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is a problem. And then we got a really good really cool sports psychologist, a therapist, Lauren, shout out. And I started going to her. I went to another one a little bit too. That really helped. And then just that's when I started being like intentional about my mental. Because yeah, like you said, I realized that really does have an effect on how you perform as an athlete, because even though I'm not gonna lie, at one point the injuries got so bad, like this past year, that it's like I just, no matter what I did, like my body wasn't gonna be able to respond like I wanted it to, no matter how my mindset was. So that was a challenge too. I will say that I'm healing from now and growing from, because it'd be like I started feeling like no matter what I do, I just can't, like I'm not good, I'm not good enough, because it'd be like I tried the approach of going to a meet really happy and excited and talking to people, and then I would do bad. And then I would try the next meet to be locked in, and then don't be all happy and stuff, be more serious, and then I would do bad. So it was like, no matter what I do bad. But I realized it was injury, so it all went back to that. But it was good, though, to be able to realize all that stuff, because I knew it was all up here. And the outcome of it, like you said, you're just like, it's so peaceful, and like you're stress free when you just have a different outlook on it. Like even if it doesn't go well, me learning that like how I respond to that really makes a difference, because time gonna go on, and either I'm gonna be sad or I'm gonna be happy.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say I realized it a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm glad that we had each other, at least when like meets were going on. We would kind of keep up with what each other was doing, and like always was there when we needed to debrief. And I felt like that really helped in a lot of situations to just have a better outlook on what happened, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that definitely helped too. And then I want you to say when you realize, but that definitely helped. Shout out y'all, and then like my parents and like everybody who I would talk to, because something about me is like I'm just big on reassurance, and I will beat that dead horse. So like I'm just so grateful that y'all and like my parents and other friends were okay with me going back. Like I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm getting over it. Like if I did bad at a meet, and then the next day I'd be like, I'm just thinking about it again and I can't. So that really helped, like y'all talking me down, because reassurance is really big for me.
Okay, I would get into when I thought that mental health was such a big thing. I think I learned that lesson pretty early on in my collegiate career, because it was one season. I think I just came back from a really good season where I won SECs, I think that year. That was SEC indoor. And then I went to the Olympics that year later on. I think that's 2021. And then the next season, I felt so much pressure to repeat my season. And it took a toll on me. Like I would go to races with feeling like the outcome determined who I was as a person. So every time I stepped on the line, like I was more than capable, I'm pretty sure, to do better than what I did. But like for the indoor season, like I just was doing so bad, and I felt really bad and just like embarrassed about my performances. So then I went to talk to a sports psychologist at the school, and he helped me a little bit. He told me like, he gave me an analogy that if I'm running to run 12 seconds and I get like $100, would you do it every time? I said, yeah, because 12 seconds is easy. I would do it. But then he was just like, okay, think about it, that you have to run 11:5, right? Well, not, okay, 11:2, and or else somebody's going to chop off your leg. And the feeling that I had with both situations, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what pressure feels like. Like this is something bad is completely going to happen to you if you do not do what you're supposed to do in your head. So after that situation and after that talk with him, I started doing better in my races. You know, I started feeling like myself again. And then I think that year I had a pretty good, successful year. You know, I went to Commonwealth and all that stuff. But then the next year I had a season ending injury, and that took a toll on me because I felt like I was just at the brim of my goal. My goal has been to go sub 11 for a very long time. And I felt like that year I had a good fall training. And as I was getting back into my groove indoor, like just before nationals, my season was done. And it was a pretty bad injury too. So like that whole summer, just watching all of my teammates have fun. I was taking care of the kids, like the animals, but I was dead. I was just sat on the couch watching, because I felt like my future, like I had prepared so much and I was just about to get it. And it kind of went down the drain there. But I went to a Christian camp, and we were talking about how we can like anchor on the Lord versus on praise and recognition. Like you're doing this because you want to please the Lord versus you want to be famous. and all that kind of stuff. So after that camp, I started having a better outlook. Like I grew in my faith. I felt like track is just something I do, not necessarily who I am anymore. So that really helped with that. And yeah, the next year, what happened the next year? I got a full season. I went to another Olympic Games, which was fun. But then this year now, I had another season ending injury when I was just at that sub 11 mark again. So that was another harsh kind of injury to take care of and recover from. But I had some time to myself to really think about my future. I know it's something I want to do. So it's just like, okay, there are going to be some bumps on the road, but I know the road that I want to take. So it's just a matter of, you know, locking in and doing what I know I want to do. Yeah.
Aww.
I love that. I just love that. It's so crazy how like all of us are just have just grown so much. And something you said what is so like important, like not having your identity in the sport. I feel like so many athletes have their identity in what they like, what sport they do. Like I know so many people who's like, if track literally ends today, they end. Like they will literally die if they don't have track and field. And I'm like, it's so much more to it. And it's not, this isn't the reason why we do it. We're supposed to be doing it, like you said, Joella, to bring honor and glory to God. Like, we ain't doing this for ourselves. Like, we are very selfish in in that way. And I feel like once more people, like, understand that it's bigger than us, then it's going to be so many more free people. Like, ain't none of us have contracts. All of us in different areas in our lives. And I feel like, for the most part, I feel like we're free. Like, if we don't have track, I know I can speak for myself. If I don't have track tomorrow, I will be fine. Honestly, I promise you I'll be fine. Like, I'm so, like, confident in what God have for me. If it ain't track, that's cool. I have a lot of other gifts that he's given me. So I think that's so important that you said, like, you figured out that your identity isn't in the sport. So
That, yeah, that was really important. So now, kind of going off of how you asked the last question, when would y'all say that you like realize that your identity doesn't, like it doesn't have to do with track? Like, when did you separate your identity from track and yourself in general?
you want to go first, or you want us to go?
I can go first, because mine was just like, thankfully early on, even though I did obviously get like engulfed in it at different points and I would get overwhelmed, but I realized it though in sophomore year. I think that was when I was in Vol Leaders. Me and Joella were in Vol Leaders. Shout out Vol Leaders, that's in the Z. And they like did a lot of mental work on the athletes and made us realize that, you know, it's gonna be okay. Like, if you don't have your sport that you're doing, you're gonna be fine. And so them doing that really helped me. And like I said, I still like would go back, like take some steps back sometimes when I would get stressed and everything. But yeah, I knew in the back of my head though that I would be fine if track wasn't here tomorrow.
I would say definitely at that camp, because it was, talk a little bit more about that camp. It was 24 hours of physical activity, extreme physical activity. And we were doing swimming, we were doing basketball, we did kickball. Like, it'll be sessions that go on for like 3 hours. And then we only slept because we had to at least get 2 hours of sleep. So we got 2 hours of sleep between the first day and the second day. And then we had to do this obstacle course where we had to like have each other on each other's backs and running for like a cross country course kind of thing. And when I tell you, at some points I felt like I wanted to stop. And then it was just like, call on the Lord for your strength. And that's when I started like really realizing that no matter what I think is perfect for my life, he has something perfect for my life. And with all of that, it just gave me a lot of time to think and just realize, okay, if track doesn't go the way I want it to go, then the Lord has given me the gift of, I would say, extreme detail. I feel like I can become a director of ops for something. And I have like a keen eye for detail for my sports psychology practice. Like, I want to do that and help other athletes. So yeah, that's when I realized. it's more than track.
Oh, I think I think for me, I realized it. Actually, it's different from y'all. I realized it when I think it was maybe grade 10. When I was like just starting to look for like, or colleges just started to like come to me, um, or recruit me, like from grade 10. And I just love my parents so much because they were the ones who were like, okay, now just know track is not gonna last forever. So you need to have something to fall back on. And they always said that to me and my brothers, and like that stuck. So y'all know I want to be a pastry chef in the future. I want to have a bakery and all that stuff. And I've wanted that from before I can remember. I mean, as early as I can remember. And so I actually wanted to go to culinary school and do track, but there's no good culinary schools and track programs. So my mommy was like, okay, well, since you can't do the practical stuff, you could do the business side. So that's why I did hospitality management to know how to run a hotel, a restaurant, all them other stuff. Um, but like, I went into college knowing that like track could end in a second, so it's okay. But I think like I really dove into it not being my identity, but like switch the perspective of my identity is in Christ. Like that happened. I want to say kind of this year, like the ending of last year into this year, because like I just been going through a lot of stuff. We could get into that like later, but like it's just so many things that I go through, and it's just like I always come out on the other end. So I'm like, what is the common denominator for me coming out on the other end? Fine, that's God. So once I came to that realization, I'm like, all right, all right, God, whatever you allow to happen, because I believe that God don't like send bad stuff to you. He allows them to happen. But like whatever you allow to happen, that's your will, and I can be cool with it. But it took a long time to get cool with it because, we want things to happen our way all the time. So once I realized that like that's not gonna happen my way all the time, I was like, which I realized I want to say like 6 7 months ago. So this is just a new realization. I'm 25 years old, and I just realized this, and my parents been telling me this from I was young. So, but like I feel like we gotta figure out stuff by ourselves sometimes. But like, yeah, I mean, I have found my identity. I mean, discovered that my identity isn't in track from grade 10, but I really discovered that my identity isn't in track, but it's also in God, like this year, like early January, late December 2024. What are some practical ways for people or athletes right now who are like struggling with mental health, who feel like they can't talk to anyone, who struggling with like their faith or and mental health, who feel like God ain't talking to them, who feels like God don't hear them, who feels like they're alone, who feels like their identity is in track. Like, what are some practical ways that we can help athletes to? They're gonna go through these things, but how can we help them like feel more? I don't want to say comfort, but like be more, I guess, comfortable in that feeling and just knowing that like the world's not gonna end. Like, what can we? How can we
Yeah.
help them?
Yeah, I feel like okay, mine might sound a little crazy, but this is what I've done and Loke still do now for just like anything that I'm going through, but I don't really want to talk about it. Literally just look up on like TikTok or like on YouTube or something, or like Google or whatever. Not saying like ChatGPT necessarily, but like look up videos and stuff where like say I was feeling like I'm injured and I feel like things are just never gonna go well for me. Like if that was something that I was having a problem with, I would look up on TikTok like that, and then I would look at what other people are saying about it, and something about that, like, because there's gonna be people most likely 9 times out of 10 who have experienced what you're experiencing, or like, you know, experiencing it now, and they talk about it. So I would do that a lot of times if I don't want to talk to somebody, or I don't feel like I can talk to somebody about it. I'll just kind of like look at that kind of stuff, and it feels like I'm getting advice individually. Like nobody knows because I'm
That
looking
makes
it up on
sense.
my TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, just for like a hands-on thing, like a right away type of thing. Because obviously there's a lot of things you can do like over time, but as a right away type of thing, I would say looking up just like what your problem is and seeing what other people say about it, whether it's on like Reddit or TikTok or whatever, in the TikTok comments or whatever. I would say that's a good way to like deal with what you're experiencing by yourself if you need to. But it's always good to talk to somebody though. At the end of the day.
It is always good. I use ChatGPT, but I would not recommend it. I would definitely say, write it all down. Write down the worst case scenario of whatever you're stressing about. Write down the worst case scenario and like just keep looking at it. Like that's probably not going to happen. Like just write down different scenarios and like see like different options of what you're going through. Yeah.
I like that. I did that before too.
Yeah, I like yours too, Mikele, because like yours is like, okay, I feel alone, but I know I'm not alone. So I'm gonna find people who going through the same stuff
Yeah.
and like just kind of feel it's kind of like a little hurt community. Like everyone feeling the same way. So it's like a comfort in knowing that like, dang, all right, you going through it too. You going through it too. You definitely going through it.
Exactly.
Like that sounds so weird, but it's like you get comfort from like knowing that other people are hurting too, or lonely too, or
Yeah.
struggling too.
It's literally
Yeah.
like
So that's a good
community.
one too.
Like we long for
Yeah,
community.
like yeah, I love that. I think another thing I would say is I feel like people in our sport definitely have like us. We found each other through track and field. So like there's other people who found each other through track and field and probably have best friends. Like lean on your friends, like lean on the people who are actually close to you, who actually know you. Like you could do the going on and strangers going through the same thing, but like I feel like it's that. So that's a comfort in itself.
Yeah.
Um, and if you don't have any friends, then you could go to your parents if you're that close with your parents. Like my mother and I are very close, and my Grammy and I are very close, and we talk a lot about all kind of things. So just kind of like finding someone close to you, as well as that stranger community, pain community, whatever. Like just finding someone close to you that knows you and that can like literally help you just by being there. They don't have to give you no advice. They could just literally be there, and their presence alone, or they're like just them texting you and be like, "Oh, I'm here if you need me." Like y'all do that all the time. Like, "Hey, if you need me, da da da," you know. If you even want to just sit on the phone, I'm here, we're here. Like that means a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just know that you're never alone. That's literally the whole thing. Just like you ain't never alone.
Yeah.
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 Actually.
I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Right, because
power
God hears you.
in just telling whatever your story is and having somebody tell you like, "Oh my gosh, that's a lot." Like just validating what you're going through. They might not have the advice, but just somebody else seeing, "Oh my gosh, how do you handle that?" And then you're like, "I don't know, but I'm doing it."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Like with what y'all were just saying, and like going to somebody close to you, because that always would help me too. Just even being able to, yeah, with having people who know you helps, because they can be like, you're literally good. Like you do this, you do this, you don't do this, you do this. Like you're good. We see what you do. Like you're gonna be fine. Da 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 da. And so that, yeah, that helps too, because they'll tell you straight. Because when you get in your head, you just start thinking of, like Joella said, all the worst case scenarios, and you start feeling embarrassed maybe, and like you just start criticizing and critiquing yourself so much. But then if you have somebody else to just shake you back into reality and be like, okay, you're doing too much, that helps.
Yeah. I think too, like, I don't know what the scripture is, but there's a scripture that says, like, God, He, like, hears the cries of His people, and, like, He is the comforter in those cries. So, like, I know a lot of nights that I would literally cry out to God and just, like, just be brokenhearted just because of the stuff going around, like, in my life, and I just be like, God, I just need you to comfort me and help me. Like sometimes I can't even sleep. And I literally just, me and God, I didn't even talk to maybe I didn't even talk to y'all, I didn't talk to my parents. It was just like me and God having a conversation. And like, I found that when I did that, and like I really poured my heart out and was truthful to God, I would literally have the best sleep ever. Like, I would be sleeping good. So, and then I'll be fine in the morning. It wouldn't be all gone, but I just have the kind of peace to me. So, just cry out to the Lord.
To the Lord.
Amen.
Literally.
Amen.
Because everybody be talking to themselves, like, don't lie. And so then it feels even better to talk back. And even like you said, if you can't hear him physically, it's like you know somebody's there listening to you, so you could just say whatever you want, and like something, something's gonna happen. Like, you know, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I used to do these meditations, and that's like my comfort zone. So I would do meditations, and I would like picture a room. It's like a couch and a fireplace, and the Lord is sitting in a chair, and I'm just like on his lap, just with my head on his shoulder. And that's like my comfort space. Every time I'm really stressed, I will just meditate and kind of visit that place and just stay there.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Because that's what he's there for. He wants
Yeah.
that from us.
Yeah, I'd be crying. I'd be like I think I saw one video or whatever that post is where they're like you, what is it? Shoot, hold on, I'm choking. It's like where basically you're trying to talk to Jesus and or like God, and you think that they not there or something, but whole time they've been waiting on you to come back. It was some post and they have really sad music behind it, and I'd be crying at TikToks all the time. But like stuff like that makes me feel comfort too, because I'm like, they're there, and it's just me. They just waiting on me.
What are your not so good like ways to cope? Because I know for me it's stress eating. Because I would go and buy a chocolate cake from Publix and some crab legs. So like, what are the not so good ways you guys cope?
Dang, I mean, I guess the same, or it's like good and not. Going back to what I said about the TikToks and stuff, it can be good to find that community by yourself, but then also sometimes I'll do too much and I'll like OD be on TikTok. Like I'll just try to drown out whatever I'm thinking about by scrolling. And yeah, I would say that like I just distract myself with social media and stuff. That's why my screen time be up so much, because I'll just distract myself.
I would say same. Yeah, same. Like I remember one time, sometimes like when I'm like extra like sad, I don't do this no more, but like I would go on TikTok and literally just scroll until something funny was on and just laugh. So I don't think that's healthy, because like that's just like throwing out the feelings, but like that used to help me more. I used to be laughing at TikTok.
Me too. Literally me
Yes.
too. Yeah, that'd probably be
But I
mine.
think
Yeah, because it's like I love to eat, but I don't know if I did it to cope. I think I just be eating.
Same.
But the TikTok one is like what I do compared to the eating, the stress eating. I probably do stress eating. I just call it I'm eating. Yeah. That was good though.
Yeah.
I feel so light now. So at peace.
Yeah.
But
Everything's gonna be okay.
everything at the end of the
It'll
day,
work out.
the day gotta end.
Yes. And nothing is as bad as it ever is, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening to yourself.
I am listening to
Yeah.
myself.
Okay. All right.
I'm using this as a therapy
Well, guys.
session. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's literally our talks, bro. It's just be therapy sessions.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so we'll be back to yapping chats much more after this because we do it all the time. But we like to make it productive yaps and chats like today.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining our group chat today. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Bye.